Merry Christmas, guys. Y'all stand up with us.
Oh, come, ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. Oh, come ye to Bethlehem. Come and be child is this who lay to rest on Mary's lap is sleeping, whom angels greet with anthems sweet, those shepherds watch are keeping. This is Christ the King, whom shepherds guard and angels sing. Haste, haste to bring him back, the babe, the Son of Mary. In such sweetness, their oxen eyes are clear, who
Okay. Ooh, we got a real hot mic here. Whoa, yeah, spicy. So Christmas is a time of giving, right? You see it in like almost every Christmas movie ever. You're hopefully trying to teach that to your kids. Hey, Christmas isn't about getting or receiving, it's about giving. Well, hopefully you're teaching them it's about Jesus. But like, who are we kidding? That's not how we lived when we were kids. That's not how our kids probably think, even though they might behave in the right way and they might like have the right perspective. But I can assure you, maybe I'm projecting here, as a child, receiving gifts was at the top of my priority list when it came time for Christmas. And I think this makes us like uncomfortable. We're like, I don't know. I don't want my kids to be greedy. I don't want to be greedy. But maybe there's something deeper there. Maybe we don't like to be in a position of need. Maybe there's something about receiving something that we didn't earn or work for or deserve that challenges us, that confronts us, that leaves us in a position of weakness or vulnerability that we don't really like all that much. Makes us feel incapable, maybe. And so I think it's appropriate that as we sit in here with a bunch of beautiful, wonderful, awesome children, that we are reminded that children can be our teachers. Jesus insists that if we want to receive the kingdom of God, then we have to receive the kingdom of God like children. And there's some questions about, well, what exactly does Jesus mean there? And I think a lot of us, when we hear that, what we hear is that we should receive the kingdom of God innocently. And many of you who were just wrangling your parents for the last 20 minutes have a little bit different take on that, maybe. Brennan Manning suggests that what Jesus is after there is not that we should receive the kingdom of God innocently, but that children are our model because they're incapable. They're even incompetent. That Jesus uses children as our model because we ought to learn from their neediness. Children don't wake up in the morning and rush to the tree and go, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see what I've earned this year, unless you're teaching them that nonsense about Santa Claus having a naughty and nice list. I've yet to meet a kid on the naughty list, so. But the reality is, right, we all know this. We are all in need. We are all impoverished. We are all needy and weak. Not to get too grim here, but the shadow of death hangs over us all. It lurks around the corner and at any moment could spring on any one of us, and we have no say in the matter. In fact, New Year's is just around the corner, and we'll all have this desire to change our lives in some sort of way. Maybe not you. But we even struggle to change our own hearts. We even struggle to change our own diets and exercise routines. We are needy. We're far more incompetent, far more impoverished than we care to recognize. And so to us, the weak, the needy, the impoverished, the broken, a child is born. To us, a son is given. John pulls back the curtain on the familiar nativity story. And he begins to show us just exactly who this child is and what this child is doing. And all of the familiarity of the nativity scene, John's version of Christmas looks drastically different. He begins in John 1 with this. In the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. This Word is Jesus, the child sitting in the manger. This is the Word that was in the beginning, before all things, was with God and was God. He goes on. He existed in the beginning with God. God created everything through him, and nothing was created except through him. This Word gave life everything that was created. Anything that exists owes its existence to him. Anything that lives and breathes owes its life and its breath to this infant. And this word gave life to everything that was created, and his life brought light to everyone. See, when the Word was born, when Jesus was born, when we celebrate Christmas, we're celebrating the fact that, yes, God was born, that God, who is love, was born, that love burst forth into the world, that this child is the one through whom all things exist. And his being born brings us life and light and all of the things that we need and are so desperate for. And in this birth, we receive something that we could never give ourselves. This life that he's offering, this life that is bursting into the world, this love that is extending into the darkness is not something we can produce ourselves. It's not something we can go and borrow from a neighbor. It's not something we can work really hard enough to earn. It's not something we could read and study and research and all of a sudden hang it up on our wall as some sort of accreditation. No, this love is a gift that we have to and can only receive as needy and weak and incapable human beings. And this gift, this light, this thing born into the world is love himself. The gift that shines into our darkness. John goes on in verse 5, the light shines into the darkness, and the darkness can never extinguish it. John reminds us that Jesus being born into the world annually, every year, built into the rhythm and routine of our life, is this reminder that God is not done with this place. God is not done with you. God has something left to say about the darkness in the world and about the darkness within us. Love is born into the world to save and redeem it. Light has come. The darkness does not win. And so to us, in darkness, a child is born. To us, a son is given. And John goes on in verse 9, the one who is the true light, who gives light to everyone, was coming into the world. But to all who received him, to those who believe in his name, he gave the right to become children of God. To all who would receive him. To all who would receive him. Christmas is all about giving. John suggests that for us, Christmas is in fact all about receiving this divine gift. This Christ child, this incarnate God, born in a barn. Those who receive him, they are reborn, not with a physical birth resulting from human passion or plan, but from a birth that could only come from God. And in this, God gives us something that we could never give ourselves. God provides us with something that we could never provide ourselves. God does something for us that we could never do for ourselves. And yet for many of us, we're reluctant to receive, especially love. I was talking to a friend of mine this week, and he said, he's a relatively new Christian, and he says that one of the things that he prays every night is, Lord, help me to give love and help me to receive love. I was like, whoa, hold on, back up. Help me to receive love. I haven't heard that one in a while, maybe ever. The recognition that I am not ready and able and willing to just receive love. God, will you help me receive love? Now, we might reject this for two reasons. We might resist this for two reasons. Maybe we don't think we need it. Maybe we're too hesitant to reach out and receive the gift of God's love because we think we're doing just fine. We've got a good job, we've got a good life, we've got friends and community, we've got a partner, maybe we've got kids, got a good 401k, a good 5-year plan. After all, what gift do you give to the person who has everything, right? But whatever self-sufficiency you have, whatever intellect, wealth, or position, or influence, or status, right, we know it's not enough. We know that deep within our bones. Brennan Manning has another powerful quote here. He says that the most you can do is change the decor of a world that is collapsing into its own death. Whoa. Merry Christmas. We're just redecorating carcasses. We're moving the furniture on a sinking ship. And look how capable we are. So we don't need God's love. But to us, the self-sufficient, a child is born. To us, a son is given. Or maybe you resist the idea of receiving this love because you are pretty sure that you can't be loved, that you shouldn't be loved, that you are in fact unlovable. You've come to believe you don't deserve love of any kind, and God's love is wasted on you. Or maybe you've done something, or you think you are something that is just beyond the love of God. He could never love someone like me. He could never love someone who thinks these things, or is this way, or has done this or that. I don't deserve it. I haven't earned it. Surely God's love is wasted on someone like me. But to us, the unlovable, a child is born. To us, a son is given. And so whatever your hesitation to receive love, hear John when he says this in verse 14. The Word became human and made his home among us. I love the way that Eugene Peterson puts this in his Message translation. The Word became flesh and moved into my neighborhood. He is full of unfailing love and faithfulness, and we have seen his glory, the glory as the Father's one and only Son. We have seen it. We have experienced it. He is the faithful and the true and the holy and the righteous, and he's made his home in us. The unworthy, the needy, the desperate, the self-sufficient, the unlovable. Ready or not, he's come. He's here. This word, this light, this fullness of love, this fullness of God has been born into the world and into your life. Whether you receive this or not, it's true. Love's pure light. God became human and made his home in us. For to us a child is born, and to us a son is given. And so maybe we can begin to understand that Christmas is about receiving after all. Receiving a love that is far beyond us, one that we are in desperate need of. Maybe we deserve it, maybe we don't. All I know is this: God has demonstrated that we are worth it because he came. And he loved. And he still loves. God's being born demonstrates this to be true. And so this Christmas, I want you to find life and joy and peace and delight, even if it's just for a day, even if it's just for the next 24 hours, if you can just shut out the world, find some peace, find some rest, and sit in the reality that God deeply loves you. That to you, a child is born. To you, a son is given. Love born into our darkness to give us light. Love born into our poverty to make us wealthier beyond our imagination. Love born into our death to give us life. For unto us God is born. For unto us love is given. And so tonight, as we finish our service together, you've got some candles. We're going to start lighting them here in the front as we begin to sing here in just a second. And as we look at that flame and as we sing a familiar song of love's pure light, will you receive it as your own? Will you take that light? Will you take that love, the divine gift of God given freely to you, and will you just receive it? Mike's going to come up. We're going to sing Silent Night together, and we're going to rejoice in the fact that to us a child is born, to us a son is given.
Unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given. Merry Christmas, everybody.